he's gonna pick up the machine so you take the blocks out so we can adjust the tracks. So you gotta pull out the idler where the grease tension is. That's what sets the tension on the track. Gonna pick up right now. I'll pull the blocks and he's gonna roll the track back. We're trying to loosen up the bolts for the grease tensioner, which applies the tension to that, which tightens the tracks, because the seal blew out of the tensioner, and so the track wouldn't stay tight. Right now we're just struggling. I'm Michael DeMonte. I'm the welder slash mechanic here. I've been doing this for about 13 years now, roughly. I just run around and fix stuff, and I also do wall bending on the side and whatever needs to get done, really. I've always been interested. I started in high school. I was 17 when I started at Craig Martin, and I worked there until I went to college. And I worked through college through there, and then I joined White Oak after that. So I've been in and out of it since 13 years. I don't know. You gotta think of it like this. Every day is a good day. You just take how it comes. It's always gonna be different. One day you're leaving at 11 at night. You're getting back at the following next day. You never know where you're going to be at, so it's always, I guess, an adventure. And yes, you're going to have those days that you're like, oh geez, here we go, but at the end of the day, when it's your passion, you just do it. It's just, you get through it. It's more like of a passion for me, because like it's not for everyone. It's you have it or you don't, and you get to come out here and you work with a good bunch of guys, and you get to troubleshoot stuff that most other people don't want to come out to do. It's all big stuff, so you use other equipment to do it. So it's just how it's always been for me. I guess it's my my nicotine, I guess. So if it's 110 degrees outside or 98 degrees, you're out in it, you got to get the job done. If it's 24 below, you got to get the job done. So I guess that would be the most extreme part of it, but we set up generators like for heat in the winter. The hotness you can't do nothing about. You just suck it up there. But like, we got lucky now, we got Starlink, so it would help out younger guys coming into it. But back then there's just old sat phones. You're like, hey, drive 5 miles. So the more experience you have, the better. And the only way you get to it is by turning wrenches. And that's the only way. You got to learn the hard way. You're gonna break stuff. It's part of the job. You can't get stressed out about it. It's the only way you learn.
Pine Ridge Logging, owned by Will Meadow. He's contracted under White Oak, who's owned by Mike Netto. Been in it since July, so about 5 months. Started off just riding behind the seat with my boss for probably close to a month, and then once this new machine came in, I took over this one full time and started running it by myself. Across to that old trail, you can kind of see that.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna cut my way through there for now. I gotta push down all these unmerchanables to get to it. Unmerchanables are basically pieces of trees that we can't get any piece that the mill will take out of. Our bottom spec is studwood, and the top size has to be 4 inches on there. So if there's a tree that I look at that's not 4 inches, I'm not gonna cut it and realize that it's not 4 inches and then have to get rid of it. So we have 16-foot logs and 12-foot logs.
So those are your saw logs?
Those are my saw logs. 16-foot logs need to have a 6-inch top to them. 12-inch need to have a 5-inch top to them. And then we have studwood, which needs a 4-inch top, like I said, and then you gotta have it. You can have 10s, 9s, and 8s for studs, and then there's also a hardwood pulp, which is 16.6, that gets sent to a different mill, and then you got popple, which is 8.6, along with your cedar.
Gerald Chandra, and my job is yarding the wood to the road. I've been working in the woods since 1979. Well, I drove truck and I drove skidder, and I run a loader for quite a few years, loading trucks, so it just kind of come natural to me. A little harder to learn how to run.
Yeah.
But yeah. Ford is a good job because you're all alone behind the other crew.
Yeah.
Got nobody to wait for. It's a great place to be. It's a great office to have out in the wilderness. I'm not exactly sure why there's not more of the younger generation getting into it, but it is good pay.
Yeah.
Great pay.
My name is David Dumont, and my company is D&D Road Company.
How long have you been working in the industry?
Probably 25 years. So there's days where we build roads, there's days where we maintain roads, there's days where we build bridges. So it's always kind of different. But on a normal day like today we're doing a little add-on to the airport. So this would be considered road building.
I'm Dawson Duma, and I run the bulldozer for my father. And a little bit. Sometimes run an excavator. That's pretty much my title. Oh, ever since I got done high school, so that must be 5-6 years. And really, I want to work with my father because nothing better than a father and son. What motivates me? Probably I would hate to see my father lose his back, you know. It's very easy in this industry, and I love the work, so it's not even like work. It's just like going to play with toys there, except Tonga trucks got a little bigger. I would not want to take over the business yet. Hopefully I'm still working with my sweet father. Trying to make some money and try to take care of the family and keep on digging dirt. That's where I'd like to be. Definitely learn on the job. Definitely. Every day you learn. It's still not 100%, and it's been 5-6 years. Learn every day. Definitely you learn on the job. I'd probably tell them that, well, first, if they like being in the woods, can't get enough of the woods over there. Money, if you're not afraid to work, there's money here. Come to work and you'll get the paycheck. And if you like using your hands, it's the place to be.
What I tell them, it's an awesome job. You're always doing something different. It's great. Come on board.
My name is Martin Pelletier, and I'm the co-owner of Silver Logging with my brother, Ben Pelletier, and I'm the owner of ML Pelletier Trucking. I've been running a crane for more than that now. I've been running a crane for 16, 17 years now. I got started in the logging industry because my grandfather did it, and then I'm a 5th generation logger. I've always wanted to do it, always enjoyed being around it. I graduated from high school and I started in a grapple skidder right off for my grandfather. And then as time went on, I ran a delimber, then, I low bedded some. Then I got, bumped up to a crane. And then by and by, I started buying trucks of my own. And, 4 years ago, my brother and I took over Silver Logging, and everything just kind of all works in unison together. Yeah. So what we did here, across from the turnaround, the side of the road was too square, and like the trucks were having a hard time to get the front of the truck around and get up into the turnaround. So I just took the crane and I tore the bank apart, and I put a bunch of topsoil and roots and there was some rotten cedar that was no good. I put it in the ditch, and I'm gonna have the skidder come and back blade it a little bit and kind of tamp it. And the plan is that they can start cutting their trailer in the turnaround a little bit earlier, and it'll just help them to get the front of the truck around a little sooner and keep them away from the ditch on the opposite side of the road. After this pile of wood is gone, what I'll probably do is get some more material and put in the ditch across from the turnaround to give them an extra 4 or 5 more feet to get the front of the truck whipped in around. And I think especially once it freezes and sets for a day or so there, it'll make a big difference. Gonna get the snow off the end there and try to make the turnaround a little bit deeper, and then he's gonna back blade this out, and he said he'll try to take some of that looser material and push it down like this way to fill it up. So the stuff they don't teach you in forestry school or truck driving school there. We just single shift our machines, so the hours are racked up. Like this stuff right here, like in the dark. Like if somebody was walking down the road between here and the So we've got 2 full-length systems that we run. That would be, we got 4 grapple skidders, 2 delimbers, 2 fellerbunchers that work full-time, 1 crane, and I have 5 trucks going. And then we have, we own timberlands as well. We have about 3,800 acres of timberland we own. But we're pretty fortunate that collectively we've got very good operators and very good employees. And I think that the success of our company is a direct reflection of them. And we try very hard to do what we can to keep them. And we definitely expounded onto our employees that you're going to be secure with us as much as possible. You know, if they're looking out for their equipment and like the forestry layout, the way the foresters have it planned, if they're looking out for that, then it's our responsibility to look out for them. I think it should be presented as a job that requires a certain skill set for people to do, as does any other job, whether it's a plumber or an electrician or carpenter or welder. Logging is no different. It has its own set of skills, and if you don't have that, then maybe you can learn it. You know, that's it. And I don't know. I don't think there's as many kids have the opportunity to learn how to operate logging equipment as they do to, say, become a plumber or a carpenter, or, you know. That's why I think like the programs at the vocational center are really great. You know, I'd like to see some more younger guys coming into the industry. We have a pretty good mix in our company of, you know, younger guys and older guys. But yeah, it definitely wouldn't hurt my feelings to see a, you know, younger generation coming up. There are some out there. There are. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I'd like to see a little more. it's not an easy job. You know, even in the days of modern mechanization with ergonomics and LED lights, climate controlled cabs, all that stuff, it's still a hard job. It's an even harder job if you are in a position where you got to stay away from home all week long. So, you know, that's a big hurdle, I think. And I don't know, like the younger generation, maybe if I'm painting with too much of a broad brush, but I don't see like a lot of younger guys have the same enthusiasm as I did and my friends did when we were 17, 18 years old. You know, I could be wrong, you know, but I just, I don't know, I just think the world's kind of changed in some ways as far as hard work goes, because it is hard work and it's not for everybody.
From the weekend.
That's 200 anyway.
To ease yourself into it, listen to the ones who have been at it for a long time, and don't get discouraged and quit right away. If you make a mistake and you know have an accident or damage a piece of equipment, don't base the rest of your career off of that one mistake. You know, get back in the saddle and go at it one more time. And just learn from your mistakes. I guess would be the best way to put it. Because Lord knows, when I was younger, I mean, I made all kinds of mistakes every day, and I never let it bother me. I just learned from it. So that's the best piece of advice I can give them. Yeah.
Cam Jackson, and I own Cross Rock Logging. I started that in about 2014, and I kind of always wanted to get into logging because of my family. I had uncles and cousins with equipment, and kind of always hung around them, and ended up sometime in high school starting it pretty well full time, and worked my way into machines, I guess. So anybody can cut a tree down, I would say, but I would say the hardest part of this job is making the guys behind me as efficient as they could be, you know, planning out my trails to where the skidder's not yarding as far as, you know, as he could, kind of limiting the distance as much as possible, making adequate size bunches so he's able to just grab one and go with it to really speed that up. Also trying to keep up, look what's behind me, you know, it's not too bad. Trying to keep unmerchantable wood out of the bunch for the limber so he doesn't have to pick that out. And then also I'm pretty big on leaving a nice residual stand, you know, not making a huge mess. So that's, I guess that'd be a couple things for me is, you know, doing the job well for the next person and doing the job well for the land too. So I have 2 employees other than myself. We have 4 pieces of equipment here. I have a spare skidder. We only use 1 skidder more times than not. And we're kind of far from home, but we travel home every night. The guys pick me up in the morning and we come up, we work 4 to 4 in the machines. And that's pretty much it. Coming down. I guess I can't say that it's, you know, stopped my operation completely. I guess it does. It's definitely something to think about. You know, both my operators are kind of older. At some point, you got to think about the future and the next generation coming in, and it doesn't really seem like there's nearly as many as there used to be. So that one day I'm going to have to go down that path, and yeah, it's not. I guess at the moment it doesn't look the best for new people coming in. I think society has changed a lot, you know, in the past decade or two. And I know even when I was in high school, I graduated 13 years ago, it was kind of starting to become maybe taboo to work in the woods, or, you know, people discouraging me. And they had their valid reasons too. You know, it's a lot of time involved and stuff, but I did want to stay in this area, and it's a good living if you're willing to put in the time.
Jeremy Cairn, Fort Kent, GC Delimbing LLC. It's been 24 years, and I got started with Pell and Pell in the Clayton Lake area. A typical day is get up here, start by 4:30 and get done by 4. The size of the operation is 2 track processors, 1 forwarder, and a combo machine. Probably one of the bigger things I would try to change is hours of operation. I think that right now is what is deterring a lot of people. Our employee bases are getting older, and it's harder for the younger guys, younger generation to get into it. It hasn't affected me on a big scale, but on a scale of maybe being able to put a new or another machine on to the job, it's just harder to find that employee that wants to come do it. You know, everybody's was told to go to school to become a doctor or a lawyer, and but this has its rewarding benefits as well. You know, yes, you're in a small cab, but you're out in the open, you're in the nature all day long, and it is fun. It's not, you know. A lot of other organizations that are starting equipment training and getting the people into them, and the tech centers are definitely helping out with that also. So it's just if they can understand the basics, then they're easier to be able to come into the big woods and operate the stuff. If people don't know what it looks like, they're not going to want to get into it. So someone that's just willing to listen, they're still human. You can't make them do anything, but as long as they're willing to learn and listen to you, that's probably one of the biggest values that I can find. I would say visit your tech center. Visit the PLC has they call it MLOP program, where you go to school for I think 10 or 16 weeks, 12 weeks of that. Get out there and try it. See if that's what you want to do, and see if you enjoy it. Because if you enjoy it, there is careers doing it, just like anything else. So.
I think there is a lot of negativity that the public gives the logging industry that I don't think is right. I think we get portrayed a lot of the time as like just a bunch of illiterate high school dropouts that, you know, we're foul mouthed and we want to just destroy the forest. And that's just not right. Like, good loggers, we're more like farmers of the forest and arborists. You know, we like to see a good working forest that's gonna grow back again someday, and then maybe like my kids will harvest it, or maybe even you for that matter. So I definitely wish that the outlook on us would change in regards